says, romantic love is an attraction that cuts off spirit and community, leaving two people to invent a relationship by themselves. It is the opposite of a relationship that lets spirit be the guide. Romance ignores all the stages of a spiritual coming together, where we begin at the bottom of the mountain and gradually travel in unison to the top. It does not leave room for the true identity of the people involved to show through. It fosters anonymity and forces people to masquerade. Right? Course in Miracles says there's only two things, love and fear. And love is the only real thing, and everything else is fear. Yeah. So when you think of romance and the fact that she says it fosters anonymity and forces people to masquerade, like, because you're going to put on and be romantic.
Right.
And who determined what romantic was, you know? And so in this case, Europeans and the Western world determined what romantic was, but then the diaspora doesn't have the same access to romance, which is all about this, finance. There's no romance without finance. Hey.
Me and Francis went to go see Chihuly at the Book of Botanical Gardens, and like before we like crossed over, because I think we took the car to go, I just like hugged him for a long time because I was just happy that he came with me. Yeah. Like, I was just happy that he was doing, because my thing is quality time. Yes. My what is it, love language?
Love language, yes.
I was just so happy that he came with me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want, is to spend time with him. Mm-hmm.
So what we really want is quality time with each other. But what this world says is that you have to make money, that you have to be about making money. So men have to then decide about what are they going to do. Because if I'm spending quality time with you, I'm spending money and not making money.
Right.
And so just thinking about that idea of like, especially in the black community, I'm hustling, I'm working, I'm doing all of this. There was this meme going around, and you know the drawings that they have of like, it'd be like the black dude with the fro and then his black girlfriend, and they got babies. Yeah, right. So there's this one picture that they have with her at the door and him sleeping, and it's something like, if you really love a man, you gotta hold him down and know that this is your quality time. Like him sleeping and you standing up at the door because he's working so hard and being so busy that this is the only. And I reject that.
Oh no,
that shit ain't quality time. But when you just said that, it just made me think about the Western world and that cash rules everything around me. Ooh, cash rules everything around me, and so I can't spend quality time with you because I need to make money so that I can afford to take care of you and the family. And because we're not joined in purpose, we can't work together.
Right. It's all on...
Because we don't have a shared purpose. So me and Bae, we have a shared purpose. So we have quality time working together. Right. Oh, we are working on this program. We're working on this. We're still together. And then we can have quality time together, not doing work because we've done the work.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, you gotta be together in purpose. There gotta be something that pulls you together. If I want to center us having time together and you want to center us making money, and both are needed, then this is gonna be a tense point. Do we even talk about money? I told you there's a book by Dr. Boyce Watkins that I want to get, and it talks about relationship finances. And I know way back in the day I was dating this guy and we were going to move in with each other, and I made more money than he did, so I decided to make up a plan where we would pay the bills proportionately. So I would pay 60%, he'd pay 40%, and I got it all up and I made it all up and we figured it all out, and he was totally offended. He was totally offended and was like, I'm not going to have nobody paying more than me and everything like that. And it's not like I wanted to. I had to like come to the understanding that if I made more, that means that I would have to contribute more. And I had to decolonize my mind of like, well, you're a man, so you pay everything, and I keep everything of my own. But I think that whole finance thing is complex in so many ways, especially in our community.
I think I'm diminishing it a little bit because I struggle with it, because we struggle with finances, and I'm just at the beginning of a journey of really unearthing and engaging and communicating about money, because it's uncomfortable as fuck, but it has to be dealt with. And I think that, and I've learned this a lot from you, that we have this idea about money, at least to Black people, that it's either everything or it's the devil.
Yes.
It's evil.
Yes, that's the church for you.
Right.
So romance means hiding our true self in order to gain acceptance. It begins with doing every little thing for our partner, neglecting our true feelings until we reach a point of serious depletion. It would have been better from the beginning to say, I can give you this much. That's how far I can go. With your help, I might be able to go farther, but I won't give you a false image of myself. And so, without this kind of honesty, our partner is left to wonder, wow, is this the same person I married? He is left to pull out his hair and wonder if he is sane or his partner is insane. But what this makes me think about is actually not to him, but to her, right? Because we'll come into the relationship going, so I'm talking to my girlfriend last night. She gave an example of, she's on a special diet, whatever. Her significant other calls her and says, come over to the house and, spend the night. She's like, all right, cool. Do you have dinner? She asked him, do you have dinner? He says, I do. I got pizza. And she was like, eh. He was like, and it got pineapples on it. And she hates pineapples. So she was like, double eh. But then she went over. And so she was over there and she was eating and she was picking off the pineapples. And she said to him, why would you order pizza with pineapples when you know I hate pineapples? And he was like, I wasn't thinking about you. And then that took him down a fight. But he explained, like, I didn't mean it that way. I said it wrong, but I wasn't thinking about you when I ordered the pizza. I came home from work, I ordered the pizza, and then I asked you to come over, and I have some wings and and she said, and so I understood and my feelings wasn't hurt. And I said, but hold up, let's rewind a little bit. When he texted you that he ordered pizza that had pineapples on him, why didn't you text back, order me something else?
Right.
Like, why didn't you at that point?
That's the point. I'm just like, so you went over and you accepted something that you don't even want.
So I'm like, why didn't you tell him to order you something else? And she was like, I didn't even think about it. I said, yeah, because we never think about ourselves. And it's this doing every little thing for our partner, neglecting our own true feelings until we reach a point of serious depletion. And this idea of like, I don't ever get what I need, but it's like, because you never make space for that. If a relationship is based on a one-way street, the person at the receiving end will do all he can to get his bottomless hole fed, not caring about what happens to his partner. That kind of person does not even care whether his partner lives or dies. He married Mrs. Perfect so that he could be taken care of and is not ready to have that change. Now, this is when you start talking about, me and Kathleen were talking about this. This is when you start talking about couples who've been married for 30, 40, 50 years. And there was somebody who was like, somebody on social media who was like, stop talking about how we don't have relationships like we did in the past because your grandmother and grandfather were together for 40 years. He was a philanderer. He had outside kids. He was an alcoholic. He was mean. He was this. And your grandmother didn't have any other means or whatever. And so she stayed with him. They're not fucking happy.
Right.
That's not the relationship to be fucking saying, oh, this is what I want to get myself to.
Absolutely.
They've been married 50 years.
Right.
And mama is unhappy as hell, and papa is a mean old man.
Right.
And it's like,
part
of that
right
is this illusion of romance. Because we can't
because
ignore
like,
generational
but they're still
trauma.
Together. But they're still together, though.
That's it.
They made it happen.
They must make their intention clear while looking for someone. They must keep their clarity once an intimate relationship is established. They must constantly check themselves to make sure they are staying in alignment with their true selves. The kind of attitude people have when initiating a relationship will determine what happens later. And if there's something unspoken, it will usually lead to the death of the relationship. If, for instance, your partner is holding something back and thinking, if I show this part of myself, then she's going to get scared and run away. Well, he can be sure you will someday run away. Openness is needed from the beginning so that people know what they are getting into. Being very nice, is not always the right way. That hits me because Bae said the most annoying thing about me. That was that night we were having that real hard conversation. He was like, the most annoying thing about you is you always want to come to a compromise. You always want things to be nice and let's figure it out and it's going to be okay. He was like, sometimes that shit ain't realistic. There's no fucking compromise. and you can't be nice. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I'm bad because I want to compromise? And he was like, yeah, because that's not really what the fuck you want. I was like, you might have a point.
Shit.
I was like, why? Why are you so smart? I didn't say that to him. I won't say that to him at all. Fuck out of here. What I look like. But when he said it, I was just like, oh, compromise isn't what's supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to give up a little bit of what I want, and you give up a little bit of what you want, and then we're both happy. He was like, no. He was like, and I hate it when you come with this nice shit, this calm shit. Like, we don't have to yell. We don't have to do any of those things. We can just tell. He was like, I hate that shit. That shit is annoying to me. I was like, oh, I thought,
See, but this is why I feel like we need community so much, because I'm always just like, there are things that I'm just like, we cannot do this just me and you. I don't trust just us to do it. And I have come to the point where I'm okay with the fact that I don't trust just us, you know, because I used to just be like, we need to be able to figure this out on our own, and we need to figure out some way to, like, you know, do this. And I'm just like, no, look, since I've been in therapy, I have accepted that I need other people's support and advice because it's beneficial and it helps. I accept that community is necessary, and like gatherings like this first gathering that we had around this book, if listening and sharing all of our observations and our experiences about our relationships, it really helps to feel like, oh, I'm not alone, I'm not crazy, I'm not, you know, abnormal, and I don't have to like strive for this idea of perfection that I had no part in making.
Remember, Telly said that she has a group of friends and they're all in relationships, and that they'll sit and they'll talk through each other's problems. And I remember being like, the men engage in that? The men do that? They engage in like talking through their problems with a group of people? Like, how does that work? And I just thought about, is it, not Why Did I Get Married? Is it Why Did I Get, with the Tyler Perry movie?
Yeah, Why Did I Get Married?
With all of the couples.
Where they go on the retreat.
Yeah, and I just thought about that. I mean, like, that wasn't the best example, but you know, they unearthed some shit.
It's a good idea, though.
They unearthed some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I like the whole concept of couples knowing each other and then being like, we're going to make a commitment to go away and spend this time together. I mean, I love that concept.
Some shit.
Yeah.
Every time I'm with him and we're doing some really pedantic, regular, pedestrian shit, I feel full of like, we went grocery shopping and I was like ecstatic with joy.
Walk to the park together, like sit in some grass, watch, just be silent people, just regular stuff. I mean, that's really when I recognized with him that I wanted to be with him. When we were just doing regular shit, eating dinner at the table, I was just like, oh, I want this.
Yeah, all the time.
As long as possible.
So I hope you come to join us August 13th, where we're going to talk about ritual and intimacy. And it will be our third and final Soul Sister Series Spirit of Intimacy event. Now we will have more events. We wanted to spend this summer really digging into the Spirit of Intimacy.
Soul Sister Series, in pursuit of a pleasure-filled life, though shit keeps on happening.